I did exactly what I didn't want to do, which was make a video, get all hyped up, excited to do it, and then panic about the second video. So if you're wondering what the last 2 weeks have looked like, that's been a considerable undercurrent to my existence. Kind of wanted to share what the last few years have looked like between when I last uploaded and now. How often does the urge to disappear into the void and not be perceived for a bit creep up on you? Hello. And this was kind of inspired by a run that I was on last week. I did my normal Sunday run and I kind of found my feet taking me towards where I used to live. So I live kind of South Hackney right now, and I used to live in Stoke Newington. I realised I was running past my old flat, but I really felt the distance and growth and change in the time between when I lived there versus now. And it's only really been 2 years. I definitely notice in myself, I don't stop to smell the roses, which is pretty bad. I have hay fever. Sometimes you have those moments where it's a sight, a sound, or a smell, or whatever it may be that really grounds you in that moment, where it snaps you back, kind of like Raven in That's So Raven. Do you know what I mean? Where it's what? Except you're at the past, not the future. I don't know if that makes sense. I kind of made some notes after the run of just things that I felt had happened, or things that had happened in that time that were worth touching on for someone that may be discovering my channel for the first time and really lack the context of who and what I did before. Wait, who I did before? Who I was before and what I did before. I'm gonna go to the end first, and I have to address the fact that the moustache is gone. So this moustache started on a whim. I was going to Paris and I thought it would be fun to have a moustache in Paris. And in light of the fact that I want to start doing things that make me uncomfortable, I feel like I got very comfortable having a moustache. So I'm gonna cut it. Seeing the flat and reminding myself of the growth in this period of time and really stopping to take in the moment, I really had this sense of I don't want to ever just get comfortable. And the moustache, having the moustache the first time around, I was like, whoa, this is groundbreaking shit. And then everyone has a moustache. I had this real Shrek turning into a human moment of who is this person? Guess I'll start at the end of the beginning, which is I was a full-time content creator and I lost my way in it, and it also kind of consumed my life. I definitely had burnout. So at the start of the pandemic or thereabouts, I decided to take a step back. So now, and I have been for the last 4 years, I work behind the camera. So I am doing the influencer marketing stuff, which is what paid my bills when I was a full-time content creator. So when creators work with brands and they do sponsored content, that's now what I do for creators. One thing I do hope comes across in this channel is that I am looking to share what useful information I have, because having been a full-time content creator and journeyed through those hurdles, I have just got a lot of insight that I think would be really beneficial to anyone that's looking to be a content creator or is a content creator now. So I've gone from content creator to influencer marketer, working with really cool brands that I love, really big in pop culture brands. And something that's been really prevalent throughout my YouTube journey was that I loved working in and around pop culture, whether that was music, I interviewed so many musicians, or whether that was with movies. Again, I interviewed a ton of movie stars. You know when you're at a bar or a pub and people are just chatting about, oh look, I saw XYZ the other day. I'm yeah, I've interviewed them. In terms of personal life, so much has happened. So I obviously don't live with my twin anymore. I moved out probably 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. And I have been living in London on and off for those 4 years. So I moved to Stoke Newington. That was my first adult flat where I'm not living with a family member, which I know is weird because even though the flats that I lived in before that were adult flats, it was still with my twin. But I lived with roommates. I got kicked out of that flat because the landlord was selling it. But that's fine, because actually perfectly coincided with the fact that I went to Los Angeles. I wanted to be on the West Coast, try that out. And I could talk for hours about how much I fell in love with LA. and the West Coast, first of all, it's a beautiful time zone because everyone is like logging off at midday and I've got the whole afternoon to crack on with my work or just like be in my own energy, which is big time good stuff. I would say that the sunshine is so important to me. If you meet me in the winter, I'm just not a good version of myself. Like, I just honestly feel that the sun is where I get my energy from. That is not the case in the UK. Like, there is no sun. I would say from November through to May, that's a lie. November through to March, unless it's this year where we've had endless sun. But again, I've been in great shape for the sunshine, so yeah. There could be a whole video on me loving LA, so I'm just gonna cut it there. I recuperated at my parents for a bit to decide what I wanted to do next. That turned into like an extended stay. I think I lived with my parents for like 5 months. I bought a car. That's how long I was with my parents. I bought a car. If you live outside London, you have to have a car. Like, there's just no way around it. The public transport system outside of London is just not good. Then I moved to Camden, or kind of more Hampstead direction, which is a beautiful part of London, and I would happily move back there. It was so gorgeous. It was older, it was more families, it just wasn't as chill necessarily, but I still liked it. Mainly because I loved running around the Heath. That makes me sound like a fairy, just like, I suppose it's made me think differently about content and success and how where I want to express myself. Success can look like lots of different things to lots of different people, and to me, I'm doing this to have a creative outlet. And I think that's a real shift from the last time I did this. It's not something that I have to squeeze the life out of I'm just doing this now because it's what I want to. And that honestly is so freeing. Like, it's been 2 weeks since I uploaded and it's been on my mind. I remember the pressure that I would put on us, or we would put on ourselves, to meet a timeline. And like, I don't think there was ever 2 weeks where we didn't upload. And I'm just like, it's 2 weeks, peace. Honestly, I feel like I've grown up a lot. I'm still when I say that, like, I don't know how to say that I've grown up. Like, I don't know what examples I can give you, but before I felt performative at times when I was making content. And I don't know if it's because we were like a double act and we were compared to other double acts all the time, that I felt the need to be like comedically funny. And I don't feel that anymore. Like, I know that what I am is enough. I think a big element of like my comedy and comedic timing was about people pleasing, and I'm not a people pleaser anymore. Well, I try not to be. I think that it's a really hard trait to unpick. I guess I'm trying to make content that fulfills me, but also represents where I am now and fits around my life as it is, not as if I want it to be perceived. So like, I haven't tidied up this room. I haven't, I did put these flowers here just because they're really cute. There is so much that I want to talk about from where I'm at now, from my perspective of working the industry. Can you even hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. I am really guided by my experience of being a content creator in how I talk to and work with other content creators, because I know what it's like. Like, I was there early doors doing this for a living. Like, I know the pain points. I know that like content creators regularly get blanked or left on red by brands or agencies taking months and months and months to pay creators. And that is nail biting. Like, there were so many times where behind the scenes of the content, like the noise around the content of chasing payments, going to meetings that lead nowhere, like wasting time with time wasters. Don't get me wrong, I'm a hard worker. Like, I love working hard. I love working towards an end goal. But there were so many instances as a content creator where my time was just wasted and I didn't feel like I was being respected. Like, being a content creator, I have the full 360. I have a 480. What's like a circle? Like, I have the other side of the camera's perspective now. And I want to touch on that because I do think that my experience has value and that sharing it will help other creators or prospective creators level up their game. But here I am now. This was all sparked by a run to my old flat, and I felt the need to kind of give a background story of where I've come from and what I'm doing and where I'm going. So, final footnote, we just gave our notice in on this flat. So in the next, what day is it today? 40 days, we're gonna be moving. But look, I've done it a lot in the last 3 years, so I'm really not fazed by it anymore. I am totally gonna get a Task Rabbit or Airtasker, I don't know what it's called, to pack this shit up. I am not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. So if you're new here or you've just stumbled across this, welcome to the party, and feel free to subscribe. How nice is this? I know, stunning.